Gotham, a city cloaked in darkness, its heart pulsing with fear. Gargoyles watched from above, silent sentinels to the city's despair. Rain slicked the streets, reflecting the neon signs like pools of blood. Tonight the air hung heavy with anticipation. A chill wind howled through the canyons of brick and steel, carrying with it the scent of rain and something else. Something sinister. Gotham was a city teetering on the edge of madness. And tonight, the madness was ready to play. A playing card, its edges singed, lay on the rain-soaked pavement. The Joker's calling card. Batman, a shadow emerging from the darkness, picked it up, his gloved fingers tracing the grotesque grin of the painted jester. A trail. The Joker always left a trail. It was a game to him, a deadly puzzle for Batman to solve. And tonight, the game was afoot. He followed the trail of chaos and destruction, each step leading him closer to the heart of the madness. To the Joker. The abandoned amusement park stood on the edge of the city, shrouded in an eerie silence that seemed to stretch for miles. Once a place of joy and laughter, it now lay in ruins, a ghostly reminder of a time long past. The rides, once filled with the delighted screams of children, were now rusted and broken, their skeletal frames casting long, haunting shadows in the moonlight. The carousel horses, frozen in mid-gallop, looked like they were fleeing from some unseen terror. The entire park had an air of desolation, as if it had been abandoned in a hurry. Weeds grew through the cracks in the pavement, and the once bright colors of the attractions had faded to dull, lifeless hues. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, yet the sense of foreboding was palpable. The Ferris wheel stood frozen against the stormy sky, its skeletal frame a haunting reminder of happier times. The wind howled through its rusted spokes, creating an eerie symphony that echoed through the empty park. Its towering presence loomed over the park, a silent sentinel watching over the decay. The once vibrant lights that adorned it were now dark, their absence adding to the sense of loss that permeated the air. Batman entered the Hall of Mirrors, his cape billowing behind him. The air inside was thick with the smell of gunpowder and something else, something sweet and sickly. The Joker was here, his presence unmistakable. The mirrors reflected Batman's image 1,000 times over, creating a dizzying maze of reflections. Each step he took echoed through the hall, the sound amplified by the glass walls. He moved cautiously, every sense on high alert. Batman could feel it, like a cold hand gripping his heart. The game was on. The Joker's laughter echoed through the hall, a chilling reminder of the danger that lay ahead. Batman steeled himself, ready to face whatever twisted game the Joker had in store. Section 4, Dance of Madness. He moved like a phantom, his footsteps silent on the cracked tile floor. The night was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional distant sound of a city that never truly sleeps. The air was heavy, almost suffocating, as if the darkness itself was alive, watching, waiting. He could feel the weight of unseen eyes upon him, a sensation that sent shivers down his spine. Every step he took seemed to echo louder in his mind, amplifying the tension that gripped his heart. Each mirror reflected a distorted image of the truth, a kaleidoscope of fear and paranoia. The Hall of Mirrors was a labyrinth of confusion, each reflection more twisted than the last. He could see himself, but not as he truly was. Instead, he saw a fragmented version, a man broken by the weight of his own fears. The mirrors seemed to mock him, their cracked surfaces distorting his reality. It was as if the very essence of his being was being pulled apart piece by piece by the relentless grip of madness. The Joker was playing with him, toying with his senses. The villain's sinister smile was a constant reminder of the chaos he thrived in. He could hear the Joker's taunting laughter, a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. It was a cruel game, one that the Joker enjoyed immensely. He was the puppet master, pulling the strings, watching as his prey danced to his twisted tune. The Joker's presence was a dark cloud, overshadowing every thought, every move. Suddenly, a burst of hysterical laughter echoed through the hall. It was a sound that chilled him to the bone, a reminder of the madness that lurked in the shadows. The laughter bounced off the walls, creating an eerie symphony of insanity. He could feel the Joker's presence, a malevolent force that seemed to permeate the very air. The empty hall, once a place of silence, was now filled with the echoes of a deranged mind. It was a place where reality and madness intertwined, creating a nightmarish landscape. The Joker. He was close. The sinister face, the maniacal grin, it was all too familiar. He could feel the Joker's eyes on him, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The shadows seemed to come alive, shifting and moving with a life of their own. It was as if the darkness itself was conspiring with the Joker, creating an environment of pure terror. He knew he had to stay alert, to be ready for anything. The Joker was unpredictable, a master of chaos. Batman spun around, his fists raised, but the Joker was gone, vanished like a nightmare. It was as if he had never been there, a phantom that disappeared into the shadows. Batman's heart pounded in his chest, the adrenaline coursing through his veins. He knew this was far from over. The Joker was out there, somewhere, waiting for the next opportunity to strike. Batman had to be ready, to stay one step ahead. This was a game of wits, a battle of minds, and he couldn't afford to lose. This was his element, a world of smoke and mirrors, where reality itself seemed to bend and distort. The foggy alleyways, the smoke-filled rooms, they were all part of the Joker's twisted playground. It was a place where nothing was as it seemed, where every shadow held a potential threat. Batman knew he had to navigate this world carefully, to see through the illusions and find the truth. It was a daunting task, but he was determined. The dance of madness had only just begun, and he was ready to face whatever came next. Section 5, Laughter's Edge. "You're late, Batsy!" The Joker's voice, dripping with mock disappointment, echoed through the hall. "I was starting to think you weren't coming to play." He appeared behind Batman, a manic grin plastered on his white face. His eyes, two pools of madness, glittered in the dim light. "Why are you doing this, Joker?" Batman growled, struggling to his feet. "Why, Bats?" The Joker giggled, his voice like broken glass. "Because it's funny, of course." Section 6, A Twisted Game. The fight was a whirlwind of chaos and violence. Batman, a master of martial arts, fought with precision and control, while the Joker relied on his unpredictable nature and arsenal of deadly toys. Each blow Batman landed was met with a burst of insane laughter. The Joker seemed to revel in the pain, his eyes gleaming with a twisted joy. "You can't stop me, Bats," the Joker cackled, dodging a blow. "I'm already one step ahead." Section 7, No Escape, but a question mark. The Hall of Mirrors became a battleground, a place where the very essence of reality was questioned. Each reflection seemed to mock the participants, distorting their forms and intentions. The air was thick with tension, and every step echoed ominously, adding to the surreal atmosphere, the distorted reflections blurring the line between reality and illusion. Batman, with his keen senses, struggled to differentiate between the real Joker and his countless reflections. The mirrors seemed to come alive, each one a potential threat, each one a possible escape route for the Joker. Batman fought with all his might, but the Joker was always one step ahead, using the mirrors to his advantage. The Joker's maniacal laughter filled the hall, bouncing off the reflective surfaces, creating an eerie symphony of chaos. Batman's every move was countered, every punch met with a mocking grin, his laughter echoing through the darkness, a constant reminder of the Joker's unpredictable nature. The Hall of Mirrors was not just a physical challenge, but a psychological one as well. Batman had to keep his wits about him, not just to fight, but to survive the mental onslaught. As Batman moved in for the final blow, he could see the determination in his own eyes reflected back at him. This was it, the moment he had been waiting for. But the Joker, ever the trickster, had one last card up his sleeve. The Joker pressed a button on a detonator in his hand, a sinister smile spreading across his face. The beeping sound that followed was deafening, a high-pitched warning of the chaos to come. A high-pitched beep filled the air, cutting through the tension like a knife. Batman's heart raced as he realized the gravity of the situation. This was no ordinary fight. It was a race against time. His eyes widened in horror, the realization hitting him like a ton of bricks. The Joker had planned this all along, leading him into a trap from which there seemed to be no escape. "See you around, Bats," the Joker called out, his voice dripping with mockery. He disappeared into the shadows, leaving Batman to deal with the impending disaster. Disappearing into the flames as the amusement park erupted in a series of explosions. The ground shook, and the sky lit up with fiery bursts, each one a testament to the Joker's madness. Batman had no choice but to escape the inferno, his cape billowing behind him as he ran. The heat was intense, the flames relentless, but he pushed forward, driven by the need to survive and fight another day, leaving the Joker's fate a mystery. The amusement park, once a place of joy and laughter, was now a smoldering ruin. The question remained, had the Joker survived, or was this the end of his reign of terror? Only time would tell.